for the startup?
See, funding. So I'll say in which domain, if someone, whosoever it is. So you have to figure out the domain. And if you have a particular domain which allied to the nature of work, which is, a necessity business, then it's, have a tremendous growth. If you ask me, if you are going to open, let's say, I'm just hypothetically saying, uh, you know, app for a hotelier or a app or any business which is related to hospitality or tourism, I don't foresee much growth in that business for next 2 to 3 years. But if you come to FMCG, of course, if your product line is good, if you have done your homework properly, so I think there is a tremendous growth lying in that particular sector. So if you just analyze last 6 months, most of the people, where they are spending their money, they are spending their money on FMCG, on the daily needs product. Whether it's milk, grocery, and biscuits, these kind of, or even non-food products is a good product line. If you know what is your target audience for like after COVID scenario.
Right. And since we're talking of startup, can you explain us the process of how exactly you write from ideation? How do you do the market research? And how do you pitch when do you actually need capital? How do you pitch it? So for our audience.
So Abhishek, as far as my understanding and my experience goes with the startup, see, we all are full of ideas, beat it anyone, so I don't say that person don't have an idea. So people always have an idea. It's just that how you gonna change that idea to the implementation stage. So if you see on a larger canvas, people start their ideas on a very first day, like full of they always talk about their ideas, but when it comes to implementation, they hold their horses back. They never go on front and say that this is what we want to do. And where most of the startups fail on the ideation stage itself. They don't have a team, they don't know to whom to target, and they don't know what is required to build a startup. So funding is a very later stage. And in today's scenario, nobody's gonna put money on the idea only. So people will love to see the traction. You must be having some traction on your platform, some transactions on your things. That's where people see an opportunity to convert that into a profitable venture. Nobody is going to build just an app and say, I need money now.
Right.
So things has been changed.
So you're suggesting you build a pilot first, a small audience, you test it there, you get some results, and then you
always have a beta version. You always have a beta version of anything, right? If you do marketing and you always do a pilot project, you always talk about the beta version, and then you go into the market full-fledged strategy. But I'm just saying, even you test your product, even if you have the few thousand numbers of people who is giving you a good review, but you need to have one thing very clearly, that people who's going to invest into your venture, they will see a long-term growth. The simple parameter of having an investor is 3x value.
Okay, great. That's a great insight, sir. Moving on to the next question, it is, how do you approach customer loyalty in today's day and age, where the customer is spoiled for choice?
So I'll just share one thing. I was in IIM Kashipur, and I was talking about the customer acquisition and customer retention. On the topic was that, and I said the same thing when you asked me, that there is no customer loyalty anymore. There are only very few people who wanted to have a customer loyalty aspect. Otherwise, I'll say 80% of people are not customer loyal. They don't believe in loyalty with the brand. You know, so I'll just give you a quick example. If you want to book a cab, you always check two apps without naming them. You always check two apps. Whichever,
Right.
giving you a lower, fare, you always, book that thing and, take a ride. So here, there's no customer loyalty anymore. So loyalty
Okay.
sticks with the brand like Maruti. So we still have a notion that if we want to buy a first car, that has to be a Maruti car.
Right. Right. Okay. I'm going to the next question, but audience, if you have any more questions, keep putting it in the chat box, and my team will be reverting me here, sending it to me here. So the next question is, how are companies measuring their marketing spend and its performance during COVID? What trends have you observed, and how has it shaped the strategy? So
See, of
it's
course,
mostly directing towards performance marketing.
yes. So, if you ask me, I don't know about much like for a bigger company because I'm not associated with a bigger company right now, so can't say how they have been, seeing the performance and marketing side. So I've been associated with a startup. So we, being a hospitality startup, we were not doing anything, to be very honest, because our industry hates the most. But as far as my experience, on the basis of my experience, I just wanted to say here, for of course the companies like retail or companies like the sector I'm talking about, the FMCG sector or retail sector, they must be spending and they must be, seeing the growth into their domain particularly. I don't have the data. I cannot talk about it much because I don't have the data right now. So as far as my knowledge goes, that they must be observing the fact that this is the time for them to actually, get the maximum out of it. So I just share one example. I recently been to a retail outlet. Earlier, I was seeing there a lot of discounts were there, but this time when I went after COVID scenario, there was no discount. There were only few, things they have kept it as a discount item. Otherwise, they were selling it on the MRP. So of course they've been making money, and of course the companies are also making money on the basis of that. And as far as the budget goes, I don't have the right data, so I cannot say how they've been, measuring that. Hello.
Question
Hello.
is, what skills must a young marketing person have,
Uh,
irrespective the industry one
Abhishek,
wants to work in? And do you suggest taking up? Yeah,
Abhishek, you're not audible.
I'll repeat the question, sir.
Hmm.
Okay, sir. I'll repeat the question. I hope I'm audible now. What industry one wants to work in? Do you suggest taking up any specific certifications?
Your voice is not clear. Can you please repeat again?
Yeah, sure. I think there's some
I
lag
think there's
from
an
my
internet
side, but
issue.
I'll repeat.
Yeah.
So the person have. Can somebody from the team take over? I think sir is not able to hear me.
Now it's
Harsh,
clear,
if you're
Abhishek.
there online.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, Abhishek.
cool. Fine. So that person was asking, what are the generic skills that a marketing person must have? And do you recommend doing any certifications?
Yes, I'll definitely recommend. Nowadays digital is in. So if you have a deep knowledge as a marketer, you need to have a deep knowledge about the digital aspects. What is SEO and how it been handled by himself or herself. You don't need to depend on a third party or a third agency where you ask, oh, third person is, I'm giving it to the third person. Else what will happen, you will not get the right data or right information from a person. Whatever you need, you can do it by him or herself. So that's where I recommend that digital is that you should have some certification into that particular domain.
Can you recommend in general what certifications could one do?
Sorry, again, your voice was not clear.
I'm saying, can you recommend some certifications to our audience?
So there are a lot of courses which is on the different websites or different portals. So you can see whether LinkedIn is also they're giving it. Then there is UAcademy. You can see. I cannot comment on one course or two course, whichever feel like. But of course, certification helps you. That's where, because that's help you to gain knowledge apart from anything else. Whether that certificate has a validity of being presented into a company or not, that's a different scenario or a different debate altogether. But of course, that particular certification will help you to get a knowledge, which is far important than holding that.
So extending that same question, how do you measure certificates versus an internship experience while recruiting? So a lot of students have this confusion that should we go for certifications more or should we be doing internships?
See, internships always give you a practical knowledge. That's what I feel, and if you ask me, I will prefer a person who has a, experience, whether having an internship or something like that. But if you ask me to, if a person has 10 certification and there is only one internship and other person has 5 internship and 2 certificates, I'll prefer the internship person. That's where my thought process goes, because then the person might be having a good on ground knowledge. So that's where I feel. And my recommendation is that internships are very important.
Back from my side.
Sorry?
I thought I interrupted you. I'm really sorry.
No.
Did I?
No. Please.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
fine, sir. The next question I have is, since you...
I lost you, Abhishek, again.
I think we are having a really bad day with the internet, but I just thought that I interrupted you and I was saying sorry. You please continue.
No. I think I have answered that. I'll prefer a person with a internship, rather than just a certification.
Okay, fine. So, can you give any anecdotes or share your experiences when you were working with Future Retail, Future Group, SR Group, and you were working with Easy Day also?
So, Easy Day is a part of Future Group only. Now it's been Reliance. So, Future Group has been taken over by Reliance. So, my experience, of course, it's a Kishore Biani considered to be an father of retail industry. So he's the guy who has built the Indian retail industry. Of course, working with them, as in the Future Group, is always a blissful experience. And as you asked me, like what kind of a learnings I have, of course, for if you want to work into retail, Future Group is the company which taught you from starting from the scratch to the build up a whole store, I will say. So we have done level. So we have done catchment study. Well, catchment study based on the location, and marketing department has their own inputs for like whether we should open a store or not, what kind of people are living near to that vicinity, and the target audience, whether we have that kind of a target audience, and what kind of assortments we should keep in the store. So that's what I have learned from Future Group, to narrow down to the assortment even at the store level. So if we open a store at the GK, so we need to have a exotic fruits. We should keep an exotic fruit line, and we should also keep good product line. We cannot keep a product which is like, I'm just giving an example, which is a local soda or a local Coke, like a cold drink. We should always keep a branded products there. So that's where we have learned there. And of course, we have opened at my tenure. I have opened 23 stores of easy. Like earlier, it was KBCY, then it converted into Easy Day. So that was a blissful, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please tell me.
Can you guide our?
There is a question here. There is a question here. According to you, sir, what will be the future of marketing and sales in India? So, Neil, I'll say, of course, there's a good future for marketing and sales in India. There is no
Right.
contradiction that. Hello, am I audible?
Hi,
Hello.
sir. You're pretty much audible. Actually,
Yeah.
Abhishek's internet is very
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
lagging.
You're
Someone
very
is
audible.
lagging.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So,
yes,
Please,
yes.
you can continue.
yeah. So,
Yes, sir. You are.
yeah. So for me, of course, there is a good future and there is a good scope in particularly sales and marketing in India. And of course, sales and marketing is a part of whole ecosystem. Without sales and marketing, you cannot do anything in the company. You know, if you're a lawyer or a CA, that can be a different scenario because then you need to just have a client. You know, but if you have a proper company which is like FMCG, IT, or any company, you need sales and marketing people who can actually market your product or your things. So of course, so it has a future, and especially in India, if you talk about, I think there's a lot of scope for sales and marketing people.
Okay, sir. Could someone please send me the next question? All right. So next question is, so what all careers are there in marketing, like advertising,
So advertising
brand
is one.
management?
Then yeah, so brand management is two. Then there's a lot of scope into digital spectrum nowadays. Then you have a marketing nowadays of correlate to event industry as well, where event industry talks about not just events. There's a lot of BTL been handled by them. So of course there is a lot of scope, and there are different industries which been allied to marketing. As you said, branding is one, then advertising it to digital is nowadays. Digital marketing agencies are lot. Then OH agencies are there. Then a lot of things. Then of course ATL agencies are there. So which is not considered as the media buying agencies.
So can someone explore in detail what these what these careers are?
So I'll tell you. So whenever you
Like
see an
brand
advertising over
management and
internet,
advertising.
yeah. So I'll just give an example. So here, if you Harsh, if you see a ad on a television or on print,
Yeah.
there's an agency who actually helps you to release that ad.
Yeah.
Of course, you can reach out to the companies like TOI, HT, or any media channel, but what I have observed over a period, then agency will help you to give a right inputs and right analytics about the advertising. Wherein if you directly go into a channel, there are a lot of things which you have to take care of them. A lot
So,
of
sir,
coordination. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how does one choose which suits him the best? Like brand management or advertising? Like how does one compare? This should be better for me or this should be better for me?
Okay, so there are ways. Of course, if you ask me, I'll share one thing with you. Uh, if you have an interest into marketing, particularly marketing domain, you don't want to work anywhere else, then of course once you choose your career, you know what you want to do, then there's an option to see what kind of options we have for an interview, or what kind of options we have for to build our own careers. So of course, as I said, that there are marketing agencies, there are, even management companies, there are OOH companies. So then you have to see what kind of a role you want to play. Of course, sales and marketing is one part, so where you, so for an agency, there are business development people is like, sales people, who sell their ideas to the companies. So big companies or any main companies. So then these agency helps you to grow in your own domain. So then there is a PR, PR department as well. So wherein PR helps you to get articles, they write articles for you and they get it published in a different, like media houses. So that's something which, as you ask me, like which department you want to work, that depends on the person. You have to analyze over a period of time while studying, into your MBA, like what this is the kind of thing which I wanted to do in my, life.
So don't you think that digital marketing is taking over to traditional ways of marketing? Like there's mere possibility that this traditional ways go extinct someday. So what can be the ways to save from the extinction?
See, I don't say that it's going to be vanished someday, from the system. It will be there and it will always be remain in the system. I'll just give an example. So nowadays, there are a lot of ATL and, digital is happening, but not of much of events and BTL is happening. Why? Because due to Corona or COVID-19, nobody wanted to step out from the home. Nobody wanted to get into a public domain or a public place where they have a lot of, unknown people. I don't feel safe or person don't feel safe there. Whereas if you talk about ATL or digital, it's giving you a reach to actually, convey your message to a lot of people at the same time. So once the COVID scenario will, get over,
right,
or may not get over, but it got, reduced. So I'm pretty much sure that BTL will come again or events will come again, because that's where people feel a connect. I can say if anyone who wanted to build a career and or build a thing, he always has to interact with the customer directly once or twice. Then only he or she able to understand the need of a customer. Without interacting with a customer, it's very difficult to to make a strategy for a customer to whom you don't know anything about. That's what I think.
Right, yeah.
It's very important.
So talking about digital marketing.
Yeah.
No, sorry, continue. I thought you were done.
No, please.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
So actually, I had this question in my mind for a very long time. During the lockdown, many of my friends and the people I know, they started doing digital marketing, right? Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people who are doing DM right now. So what do you think? What is that one factor that could separate the a person doing a good digital marketing from the person who is not? Like भर के crowd में everyone saying कि हाँ I'm doing DM, but what is that one factor that separates all of them from the person who actually does a good digital marketing, like in your perspective?
See, again, it's a very subjective question what you asked me. MBA तो सारे करते हैं, जैसे आप भी कर रहे हैं और भी लोग कर रहे होंगे, right? But there are only few people who stands out. Out of 100 people, there are only few who stands out. Rest, like doing common ears thing. So it's the same story. Everybody is talking about digital, but how deep knowledge a person keeps with him or her, that's very important. So it is very subjective if you ask me.
Yeah. All right, sir. So moving on to the next question. A lot of direct-to-consumer brands are now emerging. How do you see such business evolve? Do you suggest them to going to D2C away for startups?
Sorry, can you come again?
A lot of direct-to-consumer brands are now emerging. How do you see such businesses evolve? Do you suggest going D2C away for startups?
I don't see that. If you saying that there are a lot of brands like e-com which sells their product directly to the end customer. That's what you wanted to ask, now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So a lot of e-commerce which started their thing in 2013. I'll just give you one example. There's a grocery brand. They started in 2013, and their idea was to e-com grocery brand. So they wanted to deliver your FMCG or not food items or non-food items at your doorstep. That was the idea. But in COVID scenario, they of course get a better visibility and better exposure, where people wanted to take their services. And they, at that point in time, they were having a slot of like 2-3 days of book for next 2-3 days. That was the kind of I'll say like the people were using that kind of I don't have a right word for like, but so they are like booked for next 3 days. Yeah, so there was a lot of opportunities for them in that particular scenario. So I think, so there is a lot of scope for these kind of. Yeah.
So, since you are from IIM Kashipo, how do you see academic learning?
No, I'm not from IIM Kashipur. I was a speaker there in one of their events.
Okay. I'm really sorry for that information, sir. I did not know. So, sir, like even a person from IIM Kashipur, how do you see academic learning helping in real life? Does it help at all? Like people say कि नहीं पढ़ाई से कुछ नहीं होगा, तुम practical knowledge रखो, street smart होना चाहिए तुमको, it helps a lot. But there are some people who say that academic knowledge is also important.
No. I completely disagree with this statement. I personally don't prefer a person who is a street smart.
Okay, so you want a person to be academically smart too?
I want a person who has a deep knowledge, whether passed out from a normal college, from an IIM or anywhere, who has a deep knowledge. So I prefer a person who knows what he wanted to do or she wanted to do. I don't prefer a person who wanted to play, street smart games. Because to be very honest with you, street smart people can take leaps over, years. So like when a person who has a knowledge and a person who is a street smart join at a state level, but what I have seen in my career, so people who has a street smart get easy growth over a 2-3 year span, but after 2-3 year span they won't get any growth.
Okay, because all right.
On a senior level, once you become marketing head, once you become marketing regional marketing managers, or once you reach on a mid level, people don't want to take someone who is a street smart player. On a junior level, they need a street smart player, because you have to coordinate with a lot of people, lot of agencies, lot of vendors. At that point in time, you need to have a street smart person, but on a senior level, you need to have a knowledgeable person, because your brand is important.
That's a fact, yeah.
So I personally prefer a person who has a knowledge. I don't, take a person who is a street smart guy, because street smart guy can easily dump you as well.
Yeah. All right. So it's a question from Aishani D. Hi, Aishani. So her question is it possible to be successful in marketing field based on pure skill and no MBA degree?
Yes. Certainly you can. See, marketing is something which you need to have a knowledge of your product. If you know what is your target audience, if you know where you want to, position yourself as a brand manager or, a brand owner, your job is done. You don't need to actually keep a person with an MBA degree, because if you have a decent knowledge, you can actually handle your marketing by yourself.
All right, sir. Another question. What skills and insights do you seek in a fresher over the others in the B school crowd?
Harsh, your voice was not clear.
Oh, I'm really sorry, sir. Just a second. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. What skills and insights do you seek in a fresher over the others in the B school crowd?
What skills I'll prefer?
What skills and insight do you seek in a fresher over the others in the B school crowd?
See, fresher means what here? B school graduate is also considered to be a fresher if he or she does not have a
So,
job experience. So what kind of a
for
fresher you're
instance,
talking
let's
about?
take a person from a college, not MBA, not MBA, doing a person
A normal
doing
college
undergraduate.
graduate. A normal
Yeah,
graduate.
normal college graduate.
Yeah.
So, what do you seek in him? As in, if he doesn't
Passion.
have an MBA degree,
Passion towards his work.
passion towards his work. Actually, it's very important. Yeah. All right. So, okay, I need more questions.
See, I just wanted to tell you here one thing. Last two questions were
Yes, sir.
very much related to each other. What skills you see, I'll seek from a fresher. So I need a person who will not bounded on the, watch. He or she does not need to see the timelines. So like 6 baje ghar jana hai, 9 baje office aana hai. I don't want that person. Especially as a graduate who is just a fresher. I want a person who is 100% devoted towards his work, his or her work. Be it timeline, be it anything. So if there's no work, he or she can leave the office earlier, early by 5:30 or any whatever the timings are. But I need a person who is fully enthused about the about the work. He or she has to be a very passionate person about the work. Yes, I want to learn and I want to excel in my career.
Okay, sir. So, one more question. Influencer marketing can be seen to be gaining steam nowadays. How do you see having social media native influencers to endorse products?
Affiliate marketing or just a sec. I'm sorry. I'm
Yes,
getting a
yes, sir.
call.
No problem. No problem, sir.
I'm just muting myself. Can you after that? Can you unmute me?
Yes, sir. Definitely. We'll do that. Can someone please unmute Prateek, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please tell me now. Can you please tell the question again?
Yeah, I'll repeat the question. Influencer marketing can be seen to be gaining steam nowadays. How do you see having social media native influencers to endorse products?
So of course, see if you talk about affiliate marketing or influencer marketing, they both are correlated to each other somewhere. So if you see earlier, there were people who are actually promoting your thing on social media as an influencer, and they always give you some offer, some coupon code to get a drive from sales perspective. So of course they're gonna be much of these kind of events or these kind of things will happen more on social media now. Just a second. I'm sorry. Just a sec.
No problem, sir. No problem. Can someone please unmute Prateek, sir? Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think that in influencer marketing especially, we have used influencers for marketing our own app, and we have seen the response because people are connected with them. People think there is a, whatever they are promoting has been logical enough to take, and I feel there is a lot of scope for upcoming influencers and people who wanted to get into that space. If I'm not wrong, that was the question.
So thank you so much for your... Yes, sir. This was the question only. Yeah, you're right. All right, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, this is one...
Your voice... Harsh, your voice is not clear. Harsh, your voice was not clear.
It's a very general question. Sir, starting there now, sir?
Hello? Yeah.
Hello? Is it clear now, sir?
Yeah.
All right. So, this is one last question I wanted to ask you. It's a very generic question. So, starting from someone with, no particular position few years back and today, how do you see yourself? Like, do you see yourself with a new skill set or with upgraded version?
I did not get it. Sorry.
Sir, as in, how do you see your skill set getting, upgraded year by year? Like, as in what context?
Okay. See, if you talk about especially, for myself, I personally feel that it's always been, that you learn something new on the basis of that your skills got, upgraded time to time. So, if you say new technique, so when I started my career, there was no much of digital marketing which was happening, but over a period of time, I have to learn that thing. Now if you talk about digital marketing, I have a fairly decent knowledge. If somebody cannot, like physically present to have, give me an update on what is happening, I can get a detailed report of digital marketing, what is happening on the social media or what is happening on the basis of SEO or whatever. I can get the details and I can check my thing. So that's where a person, has to learn over a period of time. Of course, there are new things which always evolve. And people who is associated with particular domain has to learn. That's the necessity of the business. You cannot ignore it. If somebody will try and ignore such thing, of course, for a long-term thing, I'll say that the person will actually lack on his own skill set.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. With this, we come to the end of today's detox session. First of all, I would like to thank Prateek, sir, for taking out time to share his knowledge and insights with us. Thank you, viewers who tuned in on a Sunday to listen to this conversation. Your presence here is a clear indicator of a genuine interest and sincerity. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop us an email on the official site of 4C. Lastly, I would like to thank the entire team of Your Campus Guide, 4C, and D2C Igniters Club for the consistent efforts without which this event wouldn't have been successful. Thank you, everyone. See you soon in the next episode. Keep rocking. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Also, so sorry, I would like Ghanshyam to come and speak for a second. Ghanshyam? Can someone please call Ghanshyam?
Hello. Am I visible and audible?
Hi, Ghanshyam.
Hi, hello. Hello, guys. First of all, I would like to thank all the viewers and Prateek sir for joining us today.
Thank you, Ghanshyam.
Thank you, Prateek sir.
Thank you, Ghanshyam.
Thank you, sir. No problem, sir. And I would also like to thank 4C and D2C for being such a support. And also, hello guys, this is Ghanshyam from Your Campus Guide, and we are a student-based community. हमने पिछले बार बताया होगा ये सब आपको. तो यार अब हम एक सीरीज लेके आ रहे हैं events की, most probably from next week. You can stay tuned and visit our website for more information. And from and जो भी हमने देखा यार, तो उससे एक चीज निकलती है हमारे को, knowledge without application is entertainment, right? तो जो हम पढ़ते हैं उसे अप्लाई करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे लिए. तो राइट, दिस इज द मोटिव ऑफ योर कैंपस इट, एंड one should you should also come and see what we do. So visit our website www.yourcampusguide.in for more such events. Thank you, Kursi.
Thank you, Ghanshyam, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
So right, this is the motive of your campus it, and one should you should also come and see what we do. So visit our website www.yourcampusguide.in for more such events. Thank you, Kursi.
Thank you, Ghanshyam, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.